Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to get this video out because our long arm RC10 is complete for the most part. There is one thing I got to change and I'll walk through it here on the video, but I wanted to get this out because A, it's complete, and B, I wanted to get pricing out there for everybody that's looking to build an RC10 long arm, and surprising to me, it's more expensive than I thought. So I do have a Colombian wife. And I'm going to tell her right now, all this cost me $180. You don't need to watch the rest of the video. Go on with your life. However, if this is the last video you see in my collection, you will know why. It won't be the last video because my wife will probably do a narrative telling you all the eBay auction listings for every single vintage car in my collection, along as the modern stuff. So right now it's 50-50 on the next video. Whether that's going to be an 870C video or an eBay listing video on the plethora of vintage RCs and modern RCs that are in my collection. So let's get started. So we did finish up our long arm. Had one small issue, and I'll get to, but I'll walk through it as I kind of walk through all the parts on here. So let me strip this down, and I'll kind of get it down to a base of what we are working with. So, you know, body, wing, some of that stuff, all the electronics are left out of this video. Although, did get our Surplus Hobbies V6 Rocket 21.5, same thing that we have in my Fan Graphite, and XR10 stock spec G2 low profile, same ESC that we're running in the Fan RC Graphite as well. So we're going to set this up the same, really probably besides the steering servo. So let's start walking through this thing. So it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy. There's one thing I'm not too happy with, and I'm working on getting that fixed. So, and I think I have a solution for it on there as well. So let's get started, guys. So as of this date, all this stuff is in stock. I was kind of checking inventory today. So as we're walking through this, you can purchase any of this stuff from any of the websites mentioned here, and I'm just going to walk you through kind of where I purchased my stuff at and the pricing there. And even though I get a good deal on the chassis kit on eBay, I'm not going to use that price because obviously you just can't find deals like that. So I'm kind of quoting retail prices here on this stuff. So the very first thing you have to start with is a chassis. So Dragon Punch RC, the chassis kit consists of the lower main chassis, the supports, the upper chassis deck, and also the support for the RC10T bulkhead. And that's it. That's $185. You can get it from Dragon Punch. You can get it from Rubik's Racing. And that gets you the chassis. Shock towers are also Dragon Punch. Those are $40 for the set, front and rear. Again, you can get those from Dragon Punch. You can get those from Rubik's. Front to back, bumper. This is a black one. Fan RC makes one for the RC10T. That's the one you'll want to get, $10. JC Racing arms, long arms, $30. Hardware kit for the entire car. Hardware screw kit, $29.44 is what I paid. For the C-clips, I just bought a 100-pack of Hobby Park, I think, $9.98. And those I got off Amazon because I had a gift card. Same with the RC10 front bulkhead, the RC10T front bulkhead. I got that off Amazon, and that's a factory-associated part. In one of my prior videos, you saw this reinforcement hinge pin brace was down here on the bottom in front of the arm. On the RC10T, it's behind the arms, but there's not enough room there. Jason from RC10 Talk commented and said, hey, I put it where the body mounts are, and it fits just fine, so may adds a little extra reinforcement there. No problem. So the next thing is factory works. I bought the inner hinge pins and the rear arms, and obviously the front arms. So the rear hinge pins, $30. The arm set, JC Racing, $60. I did buy the RPM rear hubs because I am still working with the droop on this, and those were $30. Right now, those are kind of optional. You can pay either $30 or 20 to $25 for hubs. Yeah, I mean you need a set of hubs, so that cost is in there. But the other thing is Hobby Action. 1.32 shocks are not the correct shocks for this build. They need to be 1.02s, just like I have on my fan graphite. And the reason for that, there's a couple. There's way too much stroke. I put 4mm worth of limiters in here and they still pop out because there's still way too much droop. To control that, I'd have to put like 4 more, and then I have a minimal amount of stroke. So I ordered 1.02s off Hobby Action today, and this morning, actually, because these came this morning and immediately I knew they were wrong, ordered 1.02s. I'll use these for something else. And, I don't know if it's just my geometry or how I have my car set up, but 1.32s won't work with this setup. If you're buying all these parts, you're going to have way too much droop. And then by the time you try to control that droop, you're not going to have any stroke left in your shock, and you're not going to have any adjustability. You're not going to be able to move it in on the inner mounts or anything like that, or stand it up. You're just going to run out. So I think the best thing is to go to 1.02. And you can control the droop with the eyelet in the bottom of the shock by unscrewing it a couple turns or what have you. I did put the shims in the CVDs that tighten these up so they're nice and tight. It moved it back a little bit, but not enough where I can get these shocks to work. So you're going to want 2 sets of 1.02 shocks, and I got those from my Hobby Action. $36 a set, front and rear. Also from Hobby Action, I got all the ball studs for the kit. So I bought and these are all Fan RC parts for the most part, is Fan RC ball stud kits. I actually am running the 1.5mm extended CVDs. So these are already the extended CVDs. Those cost $34. World steering blocks, $17. RC10 T-front bulkhead, you're going to have to buy $12. World's bell crank set, $17. Battery cup was $9. Carbon fiber world strap, $12. Then the TI turnbuckles, $40 for the turnbuckles. And then for the stealth transmission kit, that was $112 for the stealth transmission kit. And I got all this from Hobby Action. They had it all readily available. And like I said, shipped to my door in no time. So thanks again to Hobby Action for getting all these parts out and getting them to me. Again, they were great. Go Fast Hobbies. Pack of the 100-degree screws I bought from them, $11.49. Those are kind of the main bigger screws that hold in the bulkheads, front plates, and then I used the stainless hardware kit that I bought before on the rest, and those ran $11.49. When I bought the stealth transmission kit, I didn't buy the motor plate, so I had to buy a black motor plate, $24.99. Fan inner steering link. I bought that $7.98. The rear motor plate, $30 for the rear motor plate, I think. One of those. It's either the rear motor plate was $24.99 or $30. I don't know. Maybe I got them switched around. But either way, you need both those pieces, right? A motor plate and then the back plate to join up to the graphite chassis. Then the gear cover for the motor, that ran $6. TI front axles, $15. 30-degree caster blocks, $15. And then all the black ball cups are Fan RC. Those ran me $15. R1 Works, I did bling out, and I got their servo brace. Fits right underneath that deck. $17.95 for that. So that fit well. You got to do something, right? You can use just the regular RC10, blocks, for $10, $12. $17.95. I chose to do that just because it looks a little bit cooler. Some miscellaneous stuff, you know, the JC thumb screws, 1020, for those, rear cush, I guess the crush washer, as well as, which comes with, the crush washer comes with the roll pins and the washer. I think that was $12. Full bearing kit, Fast Eddie bearing kit, $29 on there. And I just got a World's bearing kit, and that worked just fine on there. And so wing tubes, you know, you're looking at another $6 unless you do something like J Concepts or something like that for that. And that brings us to kind of a full slider as far as an RC10 Worlds. And then, like I said, the only thing I'd change about this build as far as parts is just the rear shocks. I would go from the 1.32s to the 1.02s. And like I said, I already ordered those to make that change. So that will correct that and hopefully allow me to dial in that suspension just like the fan graphite, which runs 1.02s as well on that, and a green spring, which I did find some green springs on eBay, and those are coming as well. So now that we got that full list of parts, the grand total that is going to take you to get to a slider of an RC10 long arm, $973.91. So I was a bit shocked by how much I spent there, but every little bit adds up. Thankfully, like I said, I got a good deal on eBay for the chassis kit, which came with shock towers, the front bulkhead, and some other miscellaneous stuff. And then I had some stuff laying around from purchasing extra parts for my graphite, and those went on here. You know, I had the Yaba Racing shock mounts already. And in that price, the shock mounts are included because when you buy fan RC shocks, they come with the bushing and everything. So, and then the hardware kit has your screws and everything, take care of the rest. The only thing is, yeah, you will have to buy some type of shock pivot for the bottom, you know, $5-6 probably for something like that. But then that gets us to a full sliding chassis. And then obviously, you know, wheels, tires vary. I tend to run the J Concepts. I like those. They've held up well on my RC10 graphite, or my fan RC10 graphite. After a number of races, I have some slicks mounted up kind of over in the corner there, and just one on Smoothie 2 Silvers. So, and plus the J Concepts rims are actually pretty affordable. You get them in like 4-packs, and I think they're $12 for a 4-pack. So, like I said, rims can vary. You know, and same thing with bodies, right? So that body and the Masami body that I have, you know, these are all fan RC bodies, and they've been fine. I haven't had any issue. I know some people say, oh, durability or quality. I mean, looks fine to me. And both of these have been raced. This one once, and obviously that one about 4 race weekends. And then, you know, some of the other things to finish this up, you're going to have to figure out, like, get a wing, a wing wire and some buttons, wing wire, $10, buttons, whatever, right? If you get J Concepts, like the screw buttons that I have on my fan RC, you're looking at $15 on those. The body does come with a wing when you order it from fan RC. So, you have that there. Or if you want to do like the Yokomo mounts and wing wire that I have on my fan RC, you can do that as well. And then, electronics wise, you can get as expensive as you want electronics. Like I said, the Surpass Rocket V6 motors, I was really, really surprised at how well it did on my fan RC graphite. And to compare these two, I thought might as well just get the same electronics. So I did get those in, and I'll start getting those mounted up this week, as well as when the new shocks come in, probably by Wednesday. I'm thinking Hobby Action. They did mail them out today, and I do have tracking, so could see them as early as Tuesday, I think, but more than likely probably Wednesday. I'll get those on, and then hopefully I can start getting all the electronics in. I'll pick up a servo today, and then I'll try to figure out, I'll just take a measurement off my fan RC graphite on the Protect servo horn that I use there. I cut it down. I use the lower hole, so I don't know exactly what millimeter length that is. So I'll figure out if that's like a 15, 17, or 19, and I'll pick up a servo and a servo arm today, probably like an associated factory team or something like that, and be able to get a servo mounted with the servo arm and make sure the throw works on that. So, yeah, but that brings us to part 3 of our long arm RC10. And like I said, I think for the short time that I was able to scramble parts together and work with people, it turned out pretty good. Like I said, the rear shocks could be a geometry thing. And I know a lot of guys, for whatever reason, seem to always favor the 1.32 rear shocks, but for racing, I don't think it's gonna get what I want as far as the adjustability, the droop, the amount of stroke that's left in there. And then, like I said, I actually have 1.02s that I've ran on my fan RC10 graphite, and they've been great. So I'm just going to go to 1.3 or 1.02s in the rear, get rid of the 1.32s. I'll use them on something else, like a Yokomo build or something else. Or like I said, I did order the RPM arms, and I know those kind of come in further. So it may be a combination of a couple different things, right? If you're on the RPM hubs and those move in, will these have the droop and everything that the dog bones don't fall, or the CVDs don't fall out? Maybe. But I think I'm gonna go with the 1.02s, and I'll just adjust droop with the eyelets on those, and then I can use all the mounting positions and shouldn't have much fear of the CVDs popping out of the out drives on there. And then, like I said, maybe it's a mixture of using the RPM arms too with those or something to see what I can get. But other than that, guys, and then if you saw my other video, I shot another video last night. The Octalock spurs just walk right onto these fan transmissions, which is awesome. So you don't need to use the plate, spring, retainer, or nut from the Octalock conversion kit. You can literally just go buy Octalock pads. I use the R1 carbon fiber pads, and I'm using a 72 tooth Octalock spur gear on that as well. So I'll convert the fan over to that as well to see how that works. But that was nice. And then I'll just have to use that Octalock kit, I think, on my son's like DK10, because I think that is the old school kind of B5, triple disc. I forget what they call it, VCS slipper or something. So I'll get rid of that on his, and so it won't go to waste. And then everything I have can run Octalock for the most part. And I'm actually going to try it on my Yokomo 91 works that I've been working on. I'm waiting for some parts to come into that. So I got to a point where I assembled the chassis, the bulkheads, the battery tray, and I'm waiting on some parts to come in so I can continue to work on that. But I'll have a video on that fairly soon as well for anyone interested in the Yokomo stuff. So, but yeah, guys, other than that, our long arm's done. So I'm excited to get electronics in it, get some wheels and tires mounted up for it as well, and then get the electronics in. So get that in and get this thing going, and then we will see how it does out there on the track. But I wanted to give everyone an update. It's all built. It's all complete. You should have your parts list now. You know exactly what you need to order and who you can order it from. And like I said, I can't thank Go Fast Hobbies enough for shipping stuff out as fast as they have. Same with Hobby Action down in Chandler. They've been great too, getting my orders correct, getting those sent out. Factory Works, like I said, they were great. I think I ordered the arms, like I said, on a Friday night. They shipped them on a Saturday morning. I had them here on a Monday. And then, like I said, I ordered the RPM hubs from them as well. So, but everything in there seems to work and seems to fit. So we'll get electronics in it, get the foam mounted battery set. I got to pick up some battery terminals so I can get those soldered on to the speed controller and a few other things, and we're ready to go. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Maybe things you would change, or if something still looks odd, let me know. I think it's all looking good. So pretty happy with the end result to get it this far in that short amount of time and not really have much issue with parts fitment or anything like that. And if the biggest thing I got to figure out is the rear droop on the back, that's not a big deal either. So I'll use these 1.32s on something else, and we'll get the 1.2 O2s on there. And then we'll get some different springs. I did find some green springs on eBay, got those ordered, so I should have those coming in as well. So again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. And part 4, we'll have this thing all set up with electronics and ready to go to the track. Thanks.